Two fire ant walkers have caught a wounded mosquito. They are carrying it happily towards their nest. But the road to their nest is slippery and steep. And suddenly they accidentally drop the mosquito. But the fire ants quickly climb down and take the possession of the mosquito again. But what is this? A leprechaude warrior is trying to snatch away the dead mosquito from the fire ants. Under attack, one of the fire ants starts running away with the mosquito. But the leprechaude warrior comes running after the fire ant walker and starts pulling the mosquito in the opposite direction. But the strong fire ant walker manages to pull away the dead mosquito in the direction of his nest. The fire ant is about to escape with the dead mosquito, but the leprechaude warrior uses all of his strength and pulls it back again. But just then, the second fire ant returns and it chases away the leprechaude warrior. And then the two fire ants begin to hurriedly carry away the dead mosquito towards their nest. But just then, this happens. What was that? The fire ants are wary, but they have no time to stop and find it out. So though reluctantly, they are forced to climb back the same path, with the only hope that everything goes well this time. But as they reach the mouth of the cave, they are horrified to see a large monster coming out of the cave and attacking them. Oh my god, this is the fearsome centipede dragon monster, and it looks like it is very hungry. It is biting the mosquito and the two fire ant workers with its deadly venomous fangs. But the brave fire ant workers are not letting go the mosquito. They are holding on to their hard-fought piece of food. The presence of the fire ants is making the centipede monster restless. Just then one of the fire ants attacks the monster, causing it to drop the mosquito. But the sea monster soon bites back the fire ant and frees its leg from its grip. After cleaning the venom of the fire ant from its fangs for some time, the centipede monster goes back to its den. But the smell of the ripped mosquito leg soon draws the centipede monster out. Holding the mosquito's leg in its fangs, the centipede monster again returns back to its den. Down below, the first fire ant is trying to complete its mission of carrying the dead mosquito to its nest, while the second fire ant worker lay mortally wounded from the bite of the centipede monster. When the first fire ant finds the second fire ant in this state, it is shocked and hurriedly begins to run away from there, carrying the dead mosquito along with her. But as it is passing through tiny sandy valley, unfortunately the mosquito gets stuck in a spider's silk. As the helpless fire ant worker is desperately running around to find a way of freeing the mosquito from the spider silk, the centipede monster quietly sneaks in and carries away the dead mosquito along with it. But the first fire ant worker comes running after it and bites one of the 100 legs of the centipede monster. The centipede monster flinches with pain from the bite of the fire ant and then quickly retreats back to its den. The angry fire ant goes after the centipede monster as if challenging it for a fight, but the centipede monster remains inside its cave and do not come out again. Many minutes pass by, but the centipede monster do not crawl out of its den. So the first fire ant worker gives up her idea of revenge and decides to concentrate on the dead mosquito. Alone it starts dragging the dead mosquito through the rugged, stony terrain. Resting now and then on the way, it finally reaches the territory of its colony. Here, under the protection of its sisters, the mosquito is finally safe. No enemy will ever dare to make an attempt of snatching away the mosquito from here. If they make a mistake of doing so, then it will be the worst mistake of their life. This incident thrills the ant watcher so much that the next morning he places an almost dead earthworm in front of the centipede monster's den to see what will happen. Attracted by the smell of the earthworm, the centipede monster comes out fiercely and then holding the earthworm in its poisonous fangs, it pulls the earthworm to the mouth of its den and begins sucking its blood. But just then a leprechaude warrior arrives which causes the centipede monster to drop down the earthworm. But the smell of the earthworm has not only attracted the leprechaude ant, but it has also attracted a fire ant and a brachyponera worker towards itself. The centipede monster again tries to pull the earthworm to its den, but it fails. And then soon, the fire ant worker begins to guard the dead body of the earthworm. Sensing the presence of the fire ant, the centipede monster gives up the idea of pulling up the earthworm into its den. It returns back into its den and is never seen coming outside again.